You are standing in line at a coffee shop. 10 seconds pass. Your hand is already in your pocket. You did not decide to do that. It just happened. That small twitch is not weak willpower. It is a very old machine doing exactly what it was built to do. Here is the strange part. That machine is at least 2 million years old, and it was never built for phones. It was built for something much more dangerous. Let's go back, way back, before cities, before farms, before anything you would recognize as normal life. Imagine an early human standing at the edge of an open field. The grass is moving. Is that the wind, or is that a predator getting ready to strike? This person cannot afford to relax. If they ignore a real threat even once, they might not get a second chance. So their brain developed a habit. Scan the environment constantly. Look for movement. Look for change. Look for anything new. This scanning habit is not a personality trait. It is survival software. And it did not stay in the past. It got passed down, generation after generation, because the humans who scanned well were the humans who survived long enough to have kids. But scanning for danger was only half the job. There was a second reason to keep checking the environment: opportunity. A rustle in the bushes might be a lion, but it might also be a rabbit. Food. And in a world where meals were never guaranteed, missing an opportunity could be just as costly as missing a threat. So the brain built a dual alarm system. One part watching for danger, one part watching for reward, both parts demanding the same thing: check again, check now, don't stop looking. For almost the entire history of our species, this system worked perfectly. It kept people alive in a world that could kill them in 100 different ways. But here's the problem: that system was built for a world that changed very, very slowly. A field stayed a field for months. A river stayed in the same place for years. The scanning habit had long gaps between anything actually happening. Most of the time, the answer to "did anything change" was simply no, and that gap mattered, because the brain is not just built to scan, it is built to learn from every scan. When nothing happens, the alarm relaxes a little. When something does happen, the alarm gets sharper. Over a lifetime, this created a kind of internal rhythm. Long stretches of calm, broken by short bursts of real information. Then, in the last few decades, something happened that the ancient brain was never designed to handle. The environment stopped being slow. Think about what a phone actually is. Underneath the apps and the colors, it is a device that can, at any second, contain danger or reward. A message could be bad news, or it could be something exciting. You do not know until you check. And that uncertainty is exactly what your ancient scanning system was built to resolve. Except now, instead of checking a field once every few minutes, you can check a screen every few seconds. Here's where it gets even stranger. Your ancestors' scanning system had a built-in stopping point. Once they confirmed the grass was just wind, the alarm switched off. Problem solved. Move on. That off switch was just as important as the alarm itself. Without it, the body would stay flooded with stress chemicals all day, and that alone could wear a person down. Phones do not offer that kind of resolution. You check. Nothing new. But nothing new right now doesn't mean nothing new ever. Something could appear 1 minute later, so the alarm never fully shuts off. It just quiets down for a moment, then flares back up. This is the part that surprises people the most. It is not that phones are simply addictive in some vague sense. It is that they perfectly imitate the two exact signals your brain evolved to never ignore. Possible threat, possible reward, delivered constantly with no clear ending. Your ancestors needed vigilance to survive open grasslands. You inherited that vigilance, but now it's aimed at a glowing rectangle instead of a moving shadow in tall grass. So why does it feel almost impossible to resist? Because you are not fighting a bad habit. You are fighting a system that spent millions of years being rewarded for exactly this kind of checking behavior. Every time you unlock your phone and find something new, a message, a like, a bit of information, your brain treats it the same way it once treated finding food after a long search: a small hit of relief and reward. And because it worked, the ancient system says, do that again. But there's a twist inside the twist. Scientists have noticed that the biggest rush does not come from finding something good every time. It comes from not knowing whether you will. If you checked your phone and got a reward every single time, the excitement would fade fast. It's the uncertainty itself that keeps the system hooked. Your brain is not chasing the reward. It is chasing the not knowing. This is exactly the same uncertainty an early human felt staring into tall grass. Is it food? food? Is it danger? Is it nothing at all? That question, repeated 100 times a day, is what your phone has learned to recreate perfectly. Here's the twist nobody expects. This scanning instinct was never designed to be triggered 100 times a day. In the ancestral world, real alarms were rare. A predator sighting might happen once a week. A new food source might appear once every few days. The system was built around scarcity. Modern phones deliver alarms and rewards on a scale that never existed in nature. Every scroll is a new patch of grass. Every notification is a new rustle in the bushes. Except now, there is no field. There is no rabbit. There is no lion. There is only the app, quietly using the oldest trick your brain has. And because this system evolved before language, before logic, before you could even reason your way out of it, knowing all of this does not automatically switch it off. That's the part that frustrates people most. You can understand exactly why you're checking your phone and still feel your hand move toward it anyway. Ancient systems do not respond to modern explanations. They respond to patterns. And right now, the pattern says check often because sometimes checking pays off. So what does this mean for you? Sitting there checking your phone without meaning to. It means the pull you feel is not a personal failure. It is a very old survival tool, doing its job in a world that no longer matches the one it was built for. The same instinct that once meant the difference between life and death is now being triggered by something that costs it nothing to keep asking. Your ancestors' alertness kept them alive. Yours is just being borrowed by something that knows exactly how to ask for it.